Hello and welcome to your regularly scheduled Abyss and Imaginarium Theater review. I am coming off the new Stygian, so if I sound pissed, then you know why, even though this Abyss didn't necessarily induce that much rage on me. It still pulled off some bullshit to annoy players, although with this patch being the Archon release patch with Columbina, plus the new Lunar reaction introduction with Zibai, everyone knew to clutch up their assholes because the Abyss was going to be full of Lunar reaction shilling. So, let's jump into Floor 11 to start off this train ride. Floor 11 is decently easy, but that depends a little bit. Starting with 11-1, which has no monolith, and only includes some Eremite spirit spawners on the first half, 2 of them 1 by 1, and then the new Fatui mechas in the second one. Both of these are very easy. The Fatui mechas are pretty, basic. They sometimes raise their shield, and it's pretty annoying because it doesn't really want to know if it's going to deal damage to the shield and fill up their meter or something. Like the hitbox kind of becomes really weird. But it's floor 11. It's the 11-1. It's nothing weird. It's nothing difficult. And then the Eremites are piss easy. But 11-2. 11-2 has 2 Ruin Drakes on the first half, again, same setup as 11-1, while on the second half is 9 of the Wild Hunt small enemies, so they give you the first half pretty easily, because the second one is going to, punch you in the gut. Now, thankfully, it is the small enemies, and this is floor 11, but it's still 9 of them, so it's not a walk in the park, but it's not the end of the world. Thankfully, it's not the elite ones. And then 11-3 finishes off with a repeat of 11-2 with 3 Ruin Graders in the first half, and then the second half is just 1 Hydro Phantasm. The real blockade is the stupid Wild Hunt enemies, but it is floor 11 as I said. It's the small ones, and then the first half is super free, so any team will deal with the Wild Hunt enemies in due time. But overall, floor 11 is easy. The first halves are all a joke, and there's only 1 second half that needs a bit of attention. Onwards to floor 12 then, which has some really weird buffs. The first halves have a 75% charged attack buff to the active character they specify, and I'm like, why? Why did they need to specify the active character? Is there a off-field character that does charged attack damage that I don't know of? Anyways, it's meant for Neuvillette, right? But there are many characters that can very much use this buff, so thankfully, it not being any stupid shit, like specifically hydro damage, charged attacks, helps a ton. While the second half's buff is Lunar reaction damage, so you can guess where hell lies. 12-1 is the pain point of the entire Abyss! Yay! Just like the previous Abysses where 12-1 has 1 stupid fucking boss that limited your team selection for the other chambers and made it a slog and super annoying to clear anything else if you didn't bring the specific counter. 6.3's 12-1 is exactly that. The first half is just the Perpetual Mechanical Array, which is super simple boss, not much needed, but its invulnerability phases will hurt you a lot if you need a lot of time for the second half, because on that second half is fucking Sigurd! And he has fucking Wild Hunt lackeys before him even, the fucking Wild Hunt bastard! So you know that without Lunar damage, you literally need 3 times the normal DPS to clear in time. Fuck this boss, man. Especially in the first chamber, he's an absolute fucking dogshit wall that completely stops anything from having fun in the second halves. Like, it's not just about, meta or having a nice team. Like, any sort of fucking team, if it's not super meta, is going to just be pissed annoyed at clearing Sigurd. I mean, the entire Wild Hunt mechanic is complete and utter bullshit, with spoilers for the version review and the new area. I hope you like this mechanic. But Sorry, there's no counters except for lunar damage against the Wild Hunt. Your only other choice is to brute force with as much DPS as you can find, which is always just the not fun option. You see everybody in like Twitter or something being like, "Oh, I brute force with like a C2 Skirk and her premium ass team with like a C649." There, I'm like, yeah, and my Vuika, like, cool. Now let's look at the 99.9% of every other player who wants to, run any sort of team, like run an okay counter or something, right? An interesting strategic counter to this fucker. You can, because Wild Hunt mechanics. It's so fucking stupid, man. This whole Wild Hunt, and how I believed that maybe if you got Ascendant Gleam, but not lunar damage, you could, chip through to the white HP bar. No, it's lunar damage specifically that is affected by the Ascendant Gleam percentages of damage that passes through to the white health. Fuck you. And all of that, by the way, just for the rest of the chambers in floor 12 to be extremely easy, by the way. Because 12-2 is just a Fontaine mecha and some Pyro Wayobs on the first half, and the second half is the Cactus boss, a boss that just needs Electrocharged. A good team with that, like grab a Nuvilette, Ororon, or anybody, just an Ororon to buff you, or Ifa even, or Overvape, right? And you just clear this guy super easily. That's it. That's the Cactus boss. The 12-2 is super easy. And then 12-3 finishes off decently easy again, with the first half having two of the new animal enemies from Nodekrai. It's the ones that place the stupid healing debuff on you. So you just need a decent healer, man. And the buff and the debuff is gone. Grab a John, grab a Baizu, and it's over. And the second half is the Knuckle Duckle Fuckle boss, which again just needs Electrocharged. Some okay AoE Electrocharged to hit the ducks, which is done easily with an Emo if necessary. And that's it. So all of that, both 12-2 and 12-3 being very easily counterable, get fucked completely by fucking Sigurd in 12-1. I mean, yeah, if you have lunar damage, this is unbelievably easy. Without it, I don't see you clearing 12-1 in time unless you brute force, I said. So like, wow. Like you can easily just, you'll pass 12-1 with a non-lunar damage team, if you didn't brute force it crazily, and then you'll go to 12-2 and 12-3 and be like, these are just unfathomably easier than 12-1. So overall, it was expected. It was expected that there was going to be Lunar Shilling in this abyss, but genuinely, I'll take any other Lunar Shield boss than fucking Sigurd. I would much rather bust my ass trying to find strategies for the new city boss they introduced, which I don't even remember the name. It's a fucking abyss thing that they now put in Stygian. I'd rather that than seeing Sigurd there. I didn't even try, by the way. Not at all. There's no reason to literally bash my head against the wall to find a team that I've got that will clear Sigurd in time. It's literally a complete waste of my time to try and go into this abyss with other teams. Because I know it's just grab Electrocharge for the other chambers and just brute force Sigurd. That's it. It's a horrendous boss. Just a fucking horrendous boss. So, IT, get away from this shit. This time, the element combo was decently generous. So, you know that Cancer was inbound for either the bosses or the starting cast. But we had Pyro, Hydro, and Electro for the elements, so an Overvape setup was very easy with all three. Lunar charged most likely with just Hydro, Electro, or trying some sort of like Ifa, or of course, again, Ororon buffing you with Scroll, of course, Vaporize, and then Overload with, the one character that allows you to play Overload. Although now with the Durin, you actually, it's a little bit easier to play some Overload without the need of, Severus. But still, a really good combo of all elements. And then, of course, there was the, the special characters, but, those are only if you have them, so I don't really count them. I think the only one that I had was, like, Venti out of them. The starting cast, though, to make up for the combo was abysmal, to say the least. I surprisingly had not a single one of these characters, definitely not leveled up if I had them, but I remember not having the worst time of my life with this full trial setup, even though I should have. And that's because I most likely grabbed some okay supports or like other DPSs in the first act, but also because of one specific character being in the starting cast, which is the one we're starting with, Mavuika. Which I know that anybody that owns her would like to keep her for later acts or the Lunar challenges, but well, that's how it goes. I mean, I've had Furina in there, my C6 Furina, and tried to keep her for as long as possible. But her build was not good, honestly. Yeah, of course, she runs Obsidian Codex, and she is saved by her just, being absurdly OP with her multipliers and talents. But they gave her Earthshaker as a weapon, which, as far as I know, is useless on her, because she doesn't deal elemental skill damage unless she's a support. Like, she has multipliers, like she runs Obsidian Codex, she's gonna be a DPS. She has multipliers on her skill, just like Child and many other characters for her attacks, for her bike attacks. But they're still considered attack damage, they're not skill damage, so Earthshaker, which buffs elemental skill damage, maybe should have given her something like Serpent Spine, or something else, because it's like bottom of the barrel of her free weapons, of her 4-star options. Then, after Mavuika, there's Yanfei. Less said, the better, because Trial Yanfei is really bad, because that's how she is, no matter the build. It's a Trial Yanfei, unless you shove like every single support with constellations under the ocean, she's not gonna deal damage. The best supports for Yanfei right now are the classic busted stuff, like grab a Zilonen or a Kitlali. So, like, she's useless. But then, there's the Hydros. And holy shit, it's quite literally 2 bricks. 2 chain balls dragging you down. Because it's Sigewin and Dahlia. Both are absolutely useless no matter the build. They gave Sigewin tenacity of the Millilith, and I'm like, for what? The 2 times her bubble is gonna bounce? Really? That's how you're gonna get the attack buff? I mean, at least Dahlia's running Noblesse and Favonius, which is the least that he could do, and that's it. It's literally 2 Hydro bricks. And then for Electro is Chlorined, and we all know how Trial Chlorines perform, and especially in this kind of situation. And Ian-san, so at least she gives you a bit of an attack boost and nice so for Mavuika, but at non-C6, she isn't really an amazing thing. She's useful for Imaginarium Theater here, of course, but she isn't, the amazing character that she usually is. And then come the bosses. Starting with the Perpetual Mechanical Array, so all good there. Followed by the Crab boss from Fontaine, but since you've got plenty of Hydro, it should be easy, unless like RNG fucked you, which, you should plan ahead, of course. And then there's the Knuckle Duckle Fuckle again from the Abyss. So you need an Electro-charged setup for it, or Lunar charged, which again should be pretty easy, It depends, of course, if you wasted yourself on the Lunar challenges. And, well, speaking of last boss before those stupid Lunar challenges, is Kenki, which actually isn't really that nice here. Yes, he's a simple boss, but at the end, he wastes a lot of time at the start and his invulnerability phase, with Imaginarium Theater's strict time limit. He can piss you off very easily in not being able to clear for just a little bit because of how much time he wastes. So actually you need a pretty good team for Kenki here. He might be again a simple boss, but here at the end, oh boy. And as for the Lunar challenges, I don't know, I remember them being okay this time around. I really don't remember my teams. I know I kind of should have maybe recorded the footage, but it was also New Year's, the 1st of January. So I wasn't really in the mood, to record because this stuff was going on. So yeah, for the first Lunar challenge, I think I guessed that I used Mavuika somehow, or because I do not own her because I don't like her or her playstyle, I might have switched to another Pyro DPS like maybe Arlecchino or something to clear this challenge, and I remember it being decently easy. As for the challenge itself, the content, it's a repeat because it's the Shadowy Husks. Yay, they're back. Still with the retarded rules of the first Lunar challenge with the stupid timer and taking damage constantly. What a fun challenge. So challenging, yes. And the second challenge is back to Boss Town from the stupid consecrated beasts from last time, and it's the new at the time Fatui Mecha Boss that needs a bunch of pyro. I mean, you have it, from the elements, but RNG or who knows might fuck you a bit and make this challenge more annoying than it should be. I'm pretty sure I used the classic like Venti Durin combo here. I owned Venti, so I got him from the special invitation, but I don't remember exactly what I used. Genuinely, I remember just not having that much of a problem though with this IT overall, and the Lunar challenges specifically. I don't know how I did that. So yeah, I guess I might have used Venti Durin, but just Venti Durin against this thing. It's the Lunar challenge. It's not easy. This boss is buffed. It's level 100 and it's buffed with the really harsh time limit. So again, I really don't know what the hell I did. So I guess it was easy, question mark. So overall for IT, the element combo was really good, but my goodness, that starting cast is atrocious to look at. You needed some really good supports and DPSs to take over from them in the early game, because with just these ones, you are not making it to the first boss, man, without sacrificing Mavuika points. And that's the Abyss of an Imaginarium Theater of 6.3, or Luna 4, or January 2026, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, but yes, it's our first one of the year of 2026. Well, new patch dropped, and I am already done with the content, which tells you how the version review is going to go. But on the note of videos, I promised you the Hexerei buffs video, but quite literally, just as I got back here on my main workstation, I got super ill. There seems to be something going around, and also the bus driver that brought me to the place that I live here literally did not have the heating on at all on a 6-hour plus drive when the outside temperature was 4 degrees. So it's not, that much of a surprise that I got super ill, and I was really dead for quite a few days, which really ruined my schedule, genuinely. And then the Abyss reset, as I, became better. The Abyss reset came around and it took the priority of the video, as you can see. So I have pushed that video a bit back. Although Varka is a Hexerei character, so I guess releasing the video close to his release, I would guess that Nicole is also going to be a Hexerei character. I mean, of course, she must be, and, they already teased them. It's going to be a good plan to release the Hexerei video close to Varka's release, and then, of course, is the version review, and the Varka review, who, please, don't fuck him up. They gave him Sugita's voice, man. Sugita. Tomokazu Sugita. The one and only. There's going to be a lot of anger if they fuck up Varka's numbers, man, and they just make him mid. Like, come the fuck on. Please, do not fuck this up. Legitimately, I await a giant riot if Varka, a character that we've waited so long, because we've known him since forever, right? And then they give him Sugita's voice for the Japanese VA, which is like a big thing for, fans of Japanese voice actors. Like, it's a really big thing. It's like if they made Flint's, the one and only Flint's, they made him not good, which is not the case. Like, Sugita, another really big name. To make Varka bad, it's literally not going to end well. Anyway, I will see you in another video. Goodbye.